Navy Federal, they actually don't report to personal or the business
Yeah.
credit bureau. So we call that a ghost card.
Okay. Listen, let's break this down.
You can get up to 35,000, no docs. Anything after that, you do have to provide docs. And this is directly from an underwriter. This is not me just making this stuff up. I actually spoke to an underwriter. That's how I get all these data points.
Let's talk about that, man.
680, 650. I've seen 620. They'll give you a $25,000 credit card. Can this credit card make you money, and how can it make me money?
What's going on, guys? Again, I was able to get Toby Rosario back to the channel, and today we're going to talk to you guys about Navy Federal business credit cards. Now, I know it's a lot of people talking about these types of credit cards, but many of the people that are talking about these cards don't have these cards. This is coming from someone that actually has this card, has used this card as well. But either way, I'm gonna let Toby tell you guys everything about this particular credit card. So, Toby, are you with us today?
Yes, I'm super excited to give the information on this Navy Federal business credit card. It's a great card. It's like what we like to call a ghost card. What does that mean? A ghost card is essentially so on the personal side, there's this thing called credit utilization, but on the business side, there is a thing called business credit utilization. So if you have like a business credit card and you run it up, it's hard for you to get more funding because they do report that utilization to the business credit bureaus. But Navy Federal, they actually don't report to personal or the business credit bureau. So we call that a ghost card.
Okay. Listen, let's break this down, because now sounds like we're about to, we're going straight into it. So let's go ahead and talk about this.
So number one, they don't report to personal or business credit bureaus, right? So that's what we call the ghost card, because there's no utilization that's reporting to personal or business. That's number one. Number two, most people don't know they actually pull Experian for the business side. Navy Federal is known to pull TransUnion for personal products, but for the business, they pull Experian, and you can apply the same day that you open that checking account. You don't necessarily need to let it season or anything like that. Another thing that I guarantee you most people don't know is that total credit limit exposure, every bank has that, is only 35,000 on the business side. So meaning you can have 25, this is across all businesses. So I have two business credit cards for different businesses. One card has 25,000 limit and the other card has 10. Now, if you want more than 35,000, which is their limit, you have to provide docs, bank statements, or tax returns. So that's another gem that most people don't know.
Right. Wow. Okay, hold up. Yeah, we most definitely gotta. Okay, so now you're saying that they what's the max that they'll let you go up to? You said 35,000.
Yep. So 35,000, that's with no docs, right? You just apply, they approve you, and then they tell you what that limit is. But if you want more than 35,000, you do have to provide like usually 3 months bank statements or some sort of documentation, because their credit limit exposure on the business side is only 35,000, which is kind of weird because their total credit limit exposure for the personal is 80,000 across all cards. So they should be lending more on the business side, but they don't. But Navy Federal specifically is only 35,000 without docs, right? So you can get up to 35,000, no docs. Anything after that, you do have to provide docs. And this is directly from an underwriter. This is not me just making this stuff up. I actually spoke to an underwriter. That's how I get all these data points.
Let's talk about that, man.
Whenever you apply, you want to have some sort of deposits going into their bank accounts. You want to, the more you make it seem like you want a long-term relationship with, and this is with any bank, right? The more products and the more things you do with that relationship with that particular bank, the more products they actually lend to you, the more products they offer you, and then you can build what's called a relationship manager. These are bankers that can actually speak to the underwriter directly. They hand the application directly to the underwriter, and they can get you higher limits.
Got you. Man, you know what? And I think, like you mentioned, a lot of people, they don't even know how to find these credit card underwriters and things of that sort. So it's so good that you were able to have that type of conversation, with them, and then drop these gems for the audience today. So now tell us a little bit more about, do you remember, like, I'm going to take you kind of back a little bit. Do you remember how your credit report was, or what type, or where you were essentially, as far as the report wise, in order to get, approved for that Navy Federal business credit card?
Yeah. So as far as my credit score, it was over a 720. But the good thing, the benefit, that's why a lot of people like Navy Federal. They actually tend to lend out to people with lower scores, 680, 650. I've seen 620 for Navy Federal, because Navy Federal is actually very, very relationship based. They have their own internal score. So if you have certain products with them on the personal side, they'll give you a $25,000 credit card, right? So that's essentially how it is. This particular credit union, Navy Federal, they're known for giving out high limits, even with lower scores. But to answer your question, my personal score was over a 720, but that doesn't mean that you need a 720 to get approved for this business credit card. You can very likely get approved with a 680. As long as you don't have like derogatories, you should be fine.
Good. I'm so glad that you shared that too, because I know a lot of people needed to hear that, as well. Well, listen, man, you most definitely seem to know, your stuff. It's not just about the Navy Federal Business Credit Card, but like you said, you've learned about other credit cards as well too, and made those comparisons before you made your final, decision as well too. And guys, just so you all know, for the audience watching this, again, this is coming from someone who is using this same exact credit card. So they're speaking from a level of experience to help you guys out and make sure that you all don't make these same type of mistakes, and understand what you're getting yourself into as well. So again, Toby, thanks again, for stopping by the channel today. Now we know you have a YouTube channel as well too. So what are some of the things you talk about on your YouTube channel?
I really focus on leveraging that credit for income. I'm a money guy, I don't know about anybody else. I always ask myself, can this credit card make me money, and how can it make me money? Because I like to leverage that credit. Ever since that guy told me, I got some good news, I got some bad news. It takes money to make money, but it doesn't have to be your money. So I like to leverage other people's money.
That's right. That's right. And guys, listen, you got to have a certain score to even, get to this point. If you're not in the sevens, you're not in the sixes, it's not the end of the world. We do have our advanced credit blueprint. Some of our clients love that particular product that we have, helps them improve our credit scores. That way you guys can start implementing the things that Toby is talking about. Get yourself in position. And thanks again, Toby, for stopping by the channel today. We greatly appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.